What is happening, YouTube? It's Mr. Chillout here, and I'm back with the actual hands-on playtime for the open beta for Battlefield 1. So without further ado, let's get into this. Now, on my last video, if you've seen it, you'll know that I had massive problems in trying to get onto the actual servers, and that night I actually couldn't get onto the servers, so I had to accept defeat and try another day. But now I have actually got on to playing some of the new beta, and my first thoughts, it's just awesome, man. It is just awesome. I'm a massive lover of Battlefield anyway, and the tactics that you use, like your classes, are so important, and for them to take it right back to the old school and slow the game up with slower reloads and the vehicles not being as high tech and the horses as well, man, that's just awesome. Like, I know what to do. It's 2016. Let's put horses back into games, and you can ride around with a fucking sword. Bayonet charges as well. I just think it's a stroke of genius from EA and DICE on this one. They listened to the fans and they took it back to the old school. On the beta, you've only got the one map available. Quite expansive, and there are a lot of areas where there's just nothing going on. I mean, you can see that, like, you have a lot of contingency at the top, but at the bottom you've got E, and it's just like, what is that? Like, it takes so long to actually run from the top 6 down to E. It's ridiculous. But you get on a horse or get a vehicle, you do it a little bit quicker, but at the same time, you don't want to be caught out there with nothing. You're just wasting your time, basically. And another thing that I really like, they've actually taken it back with the aeroplanes as well. Like, the biplane is a nice little touch. You've got like the gunner on the front and the gunner on the back. Now, I actually haven't tried flying the plane just yet, because every time I've played the game, I've never been able to get into it. It's kind of annoying because I love, like, the fighter jets on the previous Battlefield, so I will eventually get my hands on it, and then I'll be wrecking shit from the skies. It'd be interesting to see how they implement the upgrades for the biplanes as well, like what sort of upgrades you'll be able to get for the planes, because on the old ones you'll be able to get radars and things like that, but on this game the technology isn't there, so how are they going to give you the upgrades? It's going to be nice to see what they can do with it. I'm also intrigued to see how they bring the class ranking back into it. On the old games you had your overall level, but then you had your levels for each specific class. The more you unlock for a certain class, the stronger you become in that class, and the better abilities and perks you get, which then makes you a better teammate, because in Battlefield it's all about team play. Along with killing, team play is a very big core factor of the game. A nice little touch that I thought they've done really well with is taking away the defibrillators and replacing it with an adrenaline needle, so that's how you can revive your teammates. In terms of the guns, I really like the feel of how they shoot, and like the recoil is obviously a little bit more than the newer style of guns on the newer Battlefield. Obviously, back in the day, the kick was what the kick was, you know what I mean? They didn't really have the high-tech guns that you've got nowadays, so it's nice that they've got that. Like the single-shot rifles, reload speeds are obviously a lot slower because you've got to click each bullet in. The sniping as well is the same. Like, after each shot, he pulls back, cocks it, and he goes for the next shot. And I actually tried, what is it, it's like an anti-aircraft, anti-vehicle turret thing, the cannon, and the reload on that is ridiculous. Like, the speed is so slow, but that's exactly what it would have been like back in the day. They cock the shell out, they chuck the shell away, they get the new shell, they put it in and reload. And the whole time, like, just to move it around as well, it takes a lot of time to lock onto an enemy and shoot. So it's going to take a little bit of getting used to and slowing up the game and all that. And it'd be interesting to see, will you be able to customise the gun to make recoil a lot less, or are they going to keep that feel with the old school gun? At the minute, they've only got the two game types, Conquest and Rush. Now, in all the other games that I've played, Conquest and Rush are nearly the only games that I actually play on Battlefield. I do like Team Deathmatch from time to time, but these two game types for me were like just genius, and I really like how you got the whole feel of all the vehicles, the weapons. Your class setup was really important for all of these, and it's still the same. Like, especially with Rush, when you're using your medic class to stop the tickets from going down. That made it for me. That was just absolutely genius. You can actually steal away a kill from your enemy in a way. Like the same with the ammo boxes as well, like when you're standing off and you're defending, and them ammo boxes were so needed. I like the fact that you could still get points. It wasn't just all about the kills and deaths. You can still get a lot of points from being a support role. If you're really good at healing tanks, you got points for it. It gives another dynamic which for years it was dominated by Call of Duty's run and gun sort of shooters, and I really think that this game is still a lot of the fan base from Call of Duty, because how they're actually giving people what they want rather than going too futuristic. They're taking it back to its basic form, gives people the feel of an actual first-person shooter rather than here's an exoskeleton, run and jump off a building, kill 5 people on the way down. This game actually brings back a tactical feel to how games used to be. I also really want to see what they're going to do with these horses and how you can upgrade them. Are you going to be able to get like a tanky horse and just run the fuck over everyone with it and just turn into complete beast mode? It could happen, and I think they will have some sort of a tanky mode for your horse. They've also held back a lot of the vehicles on this and other vehicles they've got. Because the vehicles on this are so beast, like, because obviously the classes, you can't set up the classes to the best of their abilities at the minute. Now I really think that this game's going to be massive in terms of how long I'll be playing it personally, and the community as a whole, because everyone loves a good Battlefield game. I think a few people were a little bit disappointed after the last one with the old cops and robbers. I don't think it's necessarily what they wanted. This one is. We've got what, another month and a bit, or 21st of October until it's released. It's just going to be sick, I think. But that's all for this week. Hopefully you've liked the video. If you have, give it a thumbs up. If you want to keep up to date with all my other videos, subscribe, and I post at least once a week. So until next time, laters.